Hey guys, it's Brianna.
Hey, it's Kamryn.
And today we are here with our, we're here with our May wrap up. I did really well. I read 17 books and started, I think, 2 more after that. So, yeah.
I read 6!
So let's go and get on this because it's going to be very long. But we're not going to go really deep into our thoughts because we're showing you at least 20 books and that's quite a bit. So, yeah.
The first book I read in May, I was about to say March, was Delirium by Lauren Oliver, the first in a trilogy that I'm sure many of you have heard about. I gave it 5 stars because I really enjoyed it. I read Alienated by Melissa Landers. And yes, I did enjoy this. 4.5 stars. It's great. And then I read Allegiance, which is the 3rd book, obviously, and Divergent. I gave it 4 stars, even though I was spoiled on the ending. How sad. Yes. It was still very good. And then I read both Beautiful Chaos and Beautiful Redemption, which are the 3rd and 4th book in the Castor Chronicles by Kamryn Garcia and Margaret Stoll. And I gave them both 5 stars. And then finally, in the month of May, I read Ruby Red by Kirsten. I gave this 4 stars. It's great. And that's all. I read 6 books.
So the very first book I completed in May was The Madman's Daughter by Megan Shepherd. I know for a fact I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. So good. Dying to read the sequel, but yeah. And then next I read The Pledge by Kimberly Durting. I either gave it a 4... Yeah, I think I gave it a 4 because I don't think I gave it a 3.5. But nonetheless, I met the author and a bunch of other authors earlier. I think it was No, it was the beginning of May, sorry. But yeah. Next, I read for review The Last Policeman by Ben H. Winters. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's an adult book, so yeah, it's pre-apocalyptic. And it was really good. I just kind of had a little bit of trouble with it, but... Next, I read Second Star by Alyssa Schimmel, I think. I don't own it. I read it from NetGalley. I got an ARC of it. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, maybe. I'm not sure. It was okay. It's a Peter Pan retelling, but really I'm kind of trying to speed through this, but yeah. Next, I read Between Shades of Grey by Rita Sepetys. This was actually the April TBR jar pick, and I didn't have time to read it in April because I literally only read 2 books in April. But I finally got around to it, read it super, super quick. It was awesome. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5. After that, I read Monument 14 by Emmy Laybourne. 5 out of 5, all-time favorite. Loved it. Cannot wait to finish this trilogy. I read Just One Night by Lexi Ryan. I got it for free on the Amazon Kindle thingamabobber. I wanted something to just throw in there super quick. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, maybe a 4. I'm not sure. But yeah. Then after that, I read Insurgent by Veronica Roth. Everyone knows what this is. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I will link my review down below. Then I hosted a read-along for The Maze Runner by James Dasher. This is actually the UK cover, but whatever. I like them better. But yeah, I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really, really enjoyed it. Cannot wait to continue, as usual. But Next, I have Branded by Abby Kettner and Misi Kaliki. I can't ever say that. But I actually read this on my iPad because I was sent a copy of it for review. I actually contacted the authors and I was like, okay, can I please have a signed copy? Which I did. I paid for it and everything, and it's signed in all of its glory. Obviously, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. All-time favorite. Loved this book to death. So I had to have a physical copy because I love this book so much. I hosted a read-along for Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I had a little bit of trouble in the beginning with it, with the world building and the characters, but nonetheless really enjoyed it and cannot wait to continue on with the saga series, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how many books it's going to be, but yeah. Next, I read The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I pretty much marathoned the series, but in the way I read them, there was other books I finished, but beside the point. 5 out of 5 stars. This is definitely my favorite of the 3 books, but... Okay. Next, I hosted a read-along for Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout, 5 out of 5. Literally, there is nothing that Jennifer L. Armentrout cannot write. It's perfection.
There's like, hello, let me be your friend.
Then I finished It's Not Summer Without You by Jenny Han. This is the second book in the Summer trilogy. Gave it a 4.5 or 4 out of 5 stars. This is probably my least favorite of the 3, but...
What can you do? Push.
Really? You piece of crap. Next, I hosted a read-along for Delirium by Lauren Oliver. I gave this, I want to say, 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really had a hard time in the beginning with it. I almost put it down, and it took me about half of the book for it to really start picking up. But nonetheless, I really did enjoy it, and cannot wait to finish the trilogy.
I gave it a 5 stars.
I hosted a read-along for Alienated by Melissa Landers. Gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. This was one of my most anticipated books of the year, and I finally got...
4.52.
Hush.
I'm hush.
I don't even know what I was saying now. Whatever.
Something about a read-along.
It was like my most anticipated book of 2014, and I finally got around to reading it, and I cannot wait to see what happens. And then the last book I finished in the month is We'll Always Have Summer, which is the 3rd book in the Summer trilogy. Gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's my second favorite. It did take me a little bit longer to get through it, just because I had other books I had to read, and those came first before the others. But yeah, nonetheless, I did enjoy it, and I'm glad I finished the trilogy. Overall, I really enjoyed it. Not my favorite trilogy, but definitely a great summer read. The next 2 books are books that I started in May, but I finished one, the other one's not finished, because I have my reasons. But Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry, I finished this about a week ago, but that's more so for June, so I will talk more about that in our June wrap-up.
Push!
And then I also started this hunk of a book, City of Heavenly Fire by, obviously, Cassandra Clare. I'm literally about 200 pages in. It's taken me forever to read this book. 1, because it's so stinking big. 2, it's really hard to hold. I'm sure all of you know the tortures of this book. Like, it's really hard to hold the book. Like, it's impossible.
That was our May wrap-up. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.